Hello. Recently, GGC Athletics celebrated our 1,000th victory. And with that, I would like to take a moment to thank the countless faculty, staff, students, administration, and of course, our student athletes for the part that they've all played to make this possible. I'd also like to thank Gwinnett County, City of Lawrenceville, and everyone in the surrounding areas for all of the support that they've given GGC Athletics throughout the years. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Matt Mahony, the voice of the Grizzlies, who sat down to spend some time with our head coaches to talk about their journey and how this 1,000th victory came to fruition.
We are located back in the same room that you guys filmed this same interview 7 years ago. I sent you guys some pictures earlier. When you looked at those pictures and reminisced back, what's the first thing that come to your mind?
Kat?
I was getting a lot more sleep. I didn't have 2 kids, and I had a lot less gray hair.
Yeah, I would just say it feels like about 2 decades ago, but 7 years is it's flown by. It seems like it was a long time ago, but when you think about everything that we've done as a department, it's kind of flown by. So a little bit of both.
I think we all look like a bunch of kids. I mean, it's been a great 7 years, but there's been some struggles and some trials along the way.
And so whether it was 7 years ago or 2 years ago, take me back to your first win as the head coach of your particular GGC program.
That was a whirlwind. Started in January of 12, and the end of August of 12, we beat Tennessee Temple 12-0, just to see how everything progressed from nothing to playing out on the old intramural field with over about 1,000 fans. The pomp and circumstance of that first game, I mean, I've still got the coin from the official coin toss from that day. But yeah, I know it was just, as the game progressed, it was, well, we're not going to be that bad. We're not going to be a first-year program. So looking back on some of those guys, who've gone on to be great Grizzlies for us, it was, like has been said, it felt like 2 decades ago.
How often do you get the chance to just have a cup of tea or mow the grass or be on a plane and pinch yourself at how good life is right now? Or maybe is life as good as it appears on the outside?
I told Mike this in our interview process, that it looks good on the outside, but it's 100 times better on the inside. You talk to colleagues when you go to coaches' conventions or when you travel, and they'll tell you some of their woes, and I can't respond without feeling like I'm coming across maybe bragging, that we deal with issues. I mean, we're an athletic department. We deal with young adults. We deal with people who have diverse personalities, but I have not had a day where I come to work and I go, this is it. If this happens, I'm out. I mean, I look forward to the challenges because of my guys that I get to work with. I'm very fortunate.
I'm talking about reflecting. Yesterday I was at a college ID camp, and so you get up, kind of give your spiel about your university. And we've done in 7 years with some of these departments, it's taken a lifetime to do. And the number of athletic departments I've worked at, there's no petty animosity or jealousy with the group.
Something that's very special, and it's driven by Dr. Wilson, and I think that his administration and our administrators, and they could all be sitting around this table, and we could all be feeling the same way, from our compliance to our business administration, all the way through and through. And everybody does their part, and it continues to, we challenge the norms that are set out there, and we continue to grow. And if it doesn't work, we just try something else, and we just want to try to be and have the best product on the field and off the field.
I've been at a lot of different universities, and the affinity that I have for GGC is just simply greater, simply from the aspect that, we started, with the exception of Mike, who's doing a phenomenal job, but we've started these programs from zero. So for me, when I go to work every day, I think back to July 1st, 2012, when I was sitting in my office with no tennis balls, no uniforms, no tennis players. And I had to put a program together by February to compete. So that's how I reflect. I just reflect from an aspect of where I was when we started, where we are now. And nobody else can say they've experienced that.
What's been your favorite, you get to pick one, favorite part of building this program?
Last year we made the World Series. So, it was a 5-year goal. There we are, year 6. We win the opening round. We get to the World Series. You win the national championship. Chase can tell me, Mike can tell me. You take them somewhere special. I said, no, our World Series is in Orlando. I'm taking my team to Disney World. And it is part of me. I mean, I enjoy that part of life. I got to take a team to Disney World. I got to reward a group of athletes who had worked their butts off, had the best record that a program that I have coached has put together, and we spent the day in what I think is the happiest place on earth.
Well, Cat's Disney World. I like Mobile, Alabama. I'll be honest with you. A lot of people, when they put their list of cities they love, I doubt Mobile's at the top. But, that 1 week in Mobile, Alabama that we go the third week of May, I truly look forward to it. Everything about that event.
Delray Beach, Florida. For us, it was last year, 17, when we won the opening round game and got to the final site, just to take the program from being in Building E, changing for our first game in a classroom, taking the laundry home, doing it yourself, guys carrying equipment in the back of their cars as you're waiting on the facility to get built, to in 6 years, you're one of the top 16 teams in the country. And just, you talk about reflecting, it was that bus ride back. You're disappointed because you lost. We got knocked out in the quarterfinals. But you're like, this thing's moving pretty quick. And this has been quite a ride in such a short amount of time.
I remember it was 2/3 of the way through the first season when we got our first national top 20 ranking. And I came in and I said, you realize today's pretty historical day in this program. I said, and they thought I was going to say that, you finally made it.
The players in the locker room.
Right, the players in the locker room. And I said, well, actually, yesterday is, because yesterday was the last day that a women's soccer team at Georgia Gwinnett will ever know what it's like to not be ranked in the top 20. But the best part of it was, I looked at their eyes and they believed me.
I think the things I enjoy the most is stuff that's not seen on camera, stuff that doesn't happen in a game. I like the behind-the-scenes fun that we have, and with the players, with staff. I think that those memories throughout the course of the last 7 and 8 years are what means the most, and what, for me personally, what it's like to be here at GGC with the baseball team, and just the members of campus that know you. You have lunch with them, you run into them. They ask you why you're lost like 3 games all year. All of those things. I think that's the thing that means the most to me.
So in 3 years from now, when we get together and do a 10-year anniversary of GGC Athletics, what does your program look like?
Obviously, we just want to continue on what we started. I tell people, and it's the truth, is it's a lot harder to stay at the top than it is to get to the top, and that's a fact because we've been playing since 2014 with a target on our back. Everybody can make their season if they beat us. So, my biggest job is how do I maintain the men and women's teams? How do we maintain that edge? How do we keep them just as hungry as the competition? And hopefully by year 10, I've been able to do that.
To me, it's always challenge myself and challenge our staff, and then challenge our players, and continue to put the kids on the field that are great baseball players, but ultimately, how do we continue to develop them as lifelong leaders of character, and all of the principles that we have here internally, so that when they do leave here, they do come back, and they also are just great people out there in the world.
Dr. Wilson has given us the best platform to go ahead and do this, and so I don't think we can't thank him enough for what he's done for us. But that's the goal, is to just continue to win, but to help. We need something other than tennis up on the championship.
I agree.
board, folks.
I want to see these faces here in 3 more years.
I couldn't agree
And
more.
it's not because we're not going somewhere big. We are what is going to be big. So if we can commit ourselves to 10 years, 10 years, 10 years, 10 years, 5 years worth of consistency, his goal of great men, his goal of 200 matches, his goal of the big ring, his goal of the big ring, my goal of the big ring, consistency breeds that, and so I think in our department, it's a goal because life happens. Life is hard. Life is challenging. Our athletes absolutely provoke tough moments out of us, but I want to see that consistency stay here. So to be able to do it with the 6 of us again, it would be pretty special in 3 years. So that's definitely my goal.